Tidepool Loop was recently FDA approved, and I think this is a great milestone for people dealing with diabetes. I'm going to explain what this means, but basically it allows patients to have more choice in the management of their own disease. A long while ago, parents were impatient to improve outcomes for their children with type 1 diabetes. And they began this movement, the do-it-yourself movement, where they took the tools we had available at the time, sensors and pumps, and eventually control algorithms, and created systems that they used to manage their children. And now these systems, these do-it-yourself systems, are in use in many individuals who have type 1 diabetes. These systems are not FDA approved and therefore have an element of complexity. People have to build the app on their phones. They have to monitor updates and changes to their phones. And because they're not FDA approved, we don't have the same sort of guidebook for it. We practitioners can't prescribe it. And the use of these systems really depends on Facebook groups and connections with other people who use do-it-yourself systems. Basically, what they did was they created what is called Tidepool Loop. And this takes the algorithm that was made by these do-it-yourselfers and makes it into an app that people can now go and obtain from the Apple Store, for instance, and use with their hybrid closed-loop system. The FDA has been working to make it easier for people with diabetes to interconnect their pieces. So in my practice, I have people who like one sensor and not another, one pump and not another, and one system and not another. And yet it's hard to basically pick and choose. There are now 3 types of pieces that the FDA approves that are integral to making hybrid closed-loop technology systems work. The first piece that was approved was iCGM. And this means integrated continuous glucose monitor. So this is a CGM that basically meets the FDA's criteria for accuracy and safety when it comes to dosing insulin. And so this type of CGM has already been approved, can be used in these new systems. We also have the ACE pump, and ACE means alternate controller enabled pump. So this is a pump that is basically designed to be able to work safely with more than one type of algorithm that adjusts insulin. So now this pump can work with an algorithm that's approved, and it can work with a CGM that's approved. And now we have IAGC, which is new to me, but it means interoperable automated glycemic controller. So this is an algorithm that has been designed to communicate with other compatible diabetes device components in these systems. And that's why the approval of Tidepool Loop is so important, because it basically completes what we need. We now have all 3 pieces that can talk to each other. And in theory, patients are going to be able to mix and match. They're going to be able to say, I want this algorithm with this pump, with this sensor. Now, we're a ways away from all of this happening in real time. The first thing we need to know is when and how we can get Tidepool Loop and which other components it will talk to. But this is a huge first step in the process of allowing patients to choose which pieces they want and how they want to manage their diabetes. And we'll all learn together what Tidepool Loop means to our patients, how it will change things for our patients, who will want to use it, who won't. But I think it's very important to recognize this as something that's going to be a real step for our patients and for providers, many of whom were reluctant to use non-FDA approved algorithms. It will hopefully allow us to help our patients manage their diabetes more effectively. And at the end of this all, I say thank you so much to Tidepool and Howard Look for pushing hard to make this happen. Thank you.